Welcome back to the deep dive. Get ready, because today we're diving headfirst into something that's already making waves in the tech world. We're talking about the highly anticipated Xiaomi 16 Ultra.
Yeah, that's right.
We've actually got our hands on some incredibly detailed specifications, feature breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us a real insider's look at what this device is truly all about.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission for you today, we want to cut through all that, technical jargon.
Yeah, it gets straight to the point.
Exactly. Extract those surprising facts, the essential insights, give you a lightning-fast shortcut to being really well-informed about this powerhouse.
And we're here to help connect the dots, right, between those raw specs and what they actually mean for you day to day. We'll look at why certain features aren't just numbers on a page, but genuinely make the experience better. Maybe even hint at where things are heading.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First impressions. If you're listening in Singapore, you'll want to maybe circle June 2025 on your calendar. That's the anticipated release window.
Pretty soon, relatively speaking.
Yeah. And the starting price, we're looking at $1,099 SG BSD80. That's for the base model, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage.
Okay, so that price, that timing, it immediately paints a picture. Xiaomi is aiming high, really high. This is clearly targeting the premium segment. You could even say the ultra premium segment.
Definitely feels like a statement piece.
It's not just an update. It feels like they're going head to head with the biggest names out there.
So what's backing that up? Fundamentally, it's expected to run Android 15 with MIUI 16. The sources call that the latest version of Android.
As you'd hope for a 2025 flagship, yeah.
And you're looking at a big 6.73-inch display, a really impressive-sounding 50-megapixel quad camera system. We'll definitely dig into that later.
Yeah.
Plus, RAM options are 12 GB or 16 GB, and a large battery keeping it all going. Really sounds like they're checking all the boxes. All right, let's focus on that screen first, the thing you'll be looking at constantly. It's a 6.73-inch LTPO3 AMOLED capacitive touchscreen.
Okay, LTPO3. Worth pausing on that for a sec.
Go for it.
That low-temperature polycrystalline oxide tech, it's what allows for those really dynamic refresh rates. Super important.
Right, so it can scale way down to save battery, but then ramp right up.
Exactly, and it ramps up high here.
It sure does. You get that 120 hertz refresh rate for super smooth scrolling. The resolution is sharp, 1440 by 3200 pixels.
Yeah.
And then you've got Dolby Vision, HDR10+. But the thing that really blows me away, peak brightness, 3000 nits. That's incredible. All packed into roughly an 89.6% screen-to-body ratio. Pretty immersive.
And that combination, you have the LTPO3, the 120 hertz, and especially that huge 3000 nits brightness, it genuinely changes how you use the phone. LTPO3, like you said, it's great for smoothness, but it's also smart about power consumption. Big win for battery. And 3000 nits, your photos, videos, everything just looks incredibly vibrant, colors pop, but crucially, it means fantastic visibility outdoors, even in bright sunlight.
Ah, the classic struggle. No more squinting, hopefully.
Exactly. It makes a real difference.
Okay, so that's the screen. What about the feel, the build? Dimensions are 161.4 by 75.3 by 9.2 millimeters. Weight is either 224.4 or 229.5 grams. A bit hefty, maybe?
Depends on the materials, I guess, and there's choice there.
Right. This is where it gets interesting. The materials really shout premium. Glass front, either Longjing glass or Gorilla Glass Victus. The back. You can choose glass or eco leather. And the frame, get this, titanium, grade 5 titanium, or an aluminum alloy.
Wow, okay. Titanium and eco-leather options. That's serious diversification within one model, really leaning into that luxury feel and user choice.
And it feels durable, too, on paper at least.
Yeah.
IP68, dust and water resistant.
Standard flagship stuff now, but essential.
Yeah, up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Good peace of mind.
Absolutely. That mix of materials, specialized glass, the eco-leather option, even aerospace-grade titanium, it says a lot about their ambition. It's not just looks. It's about offering different textures, different weights, and definitely resilience. And that IP68 rating. Yeah, it's just baseline reassurance for everyday accidents. It means the phone is built tough, not just pretty.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's talk power. Performance. This is where the Xiaomi 16 Ultra seems to really flex its muscles.
This is usually where Xiaomi shines.
Yeah, at its core, you're getting Qualcomm's top-tier chip, the SM8650 AB Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, built on that efficient 4-nanometer process.
The current king, basically.
Pretty much. This thing is designed for, well, anything you can throw at it. Graphics are handled by the Adreno 750 GPU, memory-wise, 12 GB or 16 GB of RAM, and storage options from 256 GB, 512 GB, all the way up to a massive 1 TB. And crucially, it's UFS 4.0 storage.
Okay, yeah, UFS 4.0 is key. Universal Flash Storage 4.0, that's the latest standard. Combine that with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and all that RAM, you're talking absolutely top-tier speed.
Yeah.
Launching apps, multitasking, high-end gaming, editing huge video files.
8K video even.
Exactly. It should all be instantaneous. This isn't just about benchmark scores. It's about that smooth, lag-free experience in everything you do. It really feels future-proof.
And what's keeping all that power running? Battery and charging. It comes with a pretty substantial 5300 milliamp-hour battery.
That's a good size. Should easily be an all-day battery for most people, maybe more.
And the charging.
Yeah.
Wired is 120 W. Blazing fast.
Yeah.
And wireless. Also impressive. 80 W. They're advertising 100% charge in just 49 minutes wirelessly.
Okay, that's a game changer. A sub 1 hour full charge wirelessly. That significantly reduces downtime. Forget to charge overnight, no big deal. That kind of speed, both wired and wireless, just adds so much convenience to daily life.
Totally agree. Now, for the camera nerds out there, and I know there are plenty.
Raise his hand slightly.
This is where it gets really interesting. Xiaomi's clearly putting a massive emphasis on photography here. The main camera setup is, well, it's remarkable. It uses quad camera technology, yes. 4 50-megapixel lenses.
50 megapixels each.
Yep, a main, an ultra-wide, a telephoto, and periscope lens. All 50 MP.
A lot of megapixels spread across a lot of lenses. Very versatile on paper.
The main lens specifically has that big 1.0-inch type sensor, multi-directional PDAF, laser AF, OIS, all the good stuff for focus and stability. And here's a surprise. Leica lenses, plus an optional 67mm filter ring holder accessory.
Whoa, hold on. Leica lenses. Okay, that's a serious partnership, continuing from previous models. But an optional filter ring holder?
Yeah.
That's properly bridging the gap to traditional photography. That's Xiaomi directly targeting serious photographers who might use ND filters, polarizers.
Exactly. And video specs are nuts, too. 8K at 24 fps, loads of 4K options, slow-mo up to 1920 CPs, plus Gyro ES and Dolby Vision HDR 10-bit recording.
So that quad 50MP setup, it's not just about the number. It offers huge flexibility. Wide shots, zoom shots, standard shots, all potentially high resolution. The Leica partnership isn't just a logo. It usually means collaboration on color science, image processing, aiming for a certain look.
A signature style.
Right. And that filter holder, that's a bold signal. It says, we think this phone camera is good enough to replace some dedicated camera gear for enthusiasts. That could really shift perceptions.
It's a fascinating move. What about the front? Selfies are important too.
Can't forget selfies.
It's a single 32-megapixel wide lens, f2.0 aperture, 22mm equivalent, has HDR and panorama modes. Video is 1080p at 30 or 60 fps.
Solid specs for a front camera. Seems well-rounded.
Yeah, it really feels like they haven't cut corners on the camera system, front or back. The potential for quality seems immense. Okay, switching gears. Let's talk connectivity. How does it hook up to the world? It's dual SIM, nano SIM, dual standby, good flexibility there.
Standard now, but good to have.
Network support is comprehensive. 2G, 3G, 4G LTE, and of course 5G SANSA covers all the bases for high-speed data.
Future-proof for network speeds.
Wi-Fi is interesting. 802.11 ABNAC 6.7. Wi-Fi 7 is the standout. Tri-band Wi-Fi Direct.
Bluetooth is 5.2 with A2DP, LE aptec XHD for better audio quality. GPS covers all the major constellations.
Yeah.
GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, BDS. NFC is enabled, of course.
Yep, contactless payments, quick pairing, standard stuff. USB is Type-C 2.0 with USB on the go.
USB 2.0. Okay, that's maybe one small point where it's not absolutely bleeding edge.
Explain.
Well, Type-C 2.0 is fine for charging and everyday data transfer, but if you're moving huge files like those massive 8K videos to a computer, USB 3.0 or higher would be significantly faster.
Gotcha. A potential bottleneck for very specific power users, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. For most people, probably not a major issue day-to-day, but worth noting for a device that's top tier everywhere else.
Also noted in the specs, no FM radio, no infrared port. Some people still miss the IR blaster.
True, though it's increasingly rare on flagships.
All right, what other bits and pieces? Sensors. Fingerprint sensors under the display, optical type, plus accelerometer, proximity, gyro, compass, color spectrum, barometer, full suite.
Under display optical sensor. Quick, convenient security, pretty standard, but works well.
And for audio output without headphones, stereo speakers.
Yes, crucial for media consumption. Watching videos, gaming, stereo speakers make a big difference to the immersion.
Definitely. Okay, finally, let's wrap up with availability in Singapore and the colors. We mentioned the price points earlier based on RAM and storage. So Just to recap, 12 GB plus 256 GB is SGD $1,099. Then 16 GB plus 512 GB is $12,299. And the big one, 16 GB plus 1 TB is $1,499.
A clear tiered structure covers a range, though all firmly in premium territory.
And colors, you've got black, blue, white, silver, and that interesting titanium gray option, likely tied to the titanium frame model.
Good range of choices there from classic to a bit more unique.
And if you're in Singapore and thinking of buying, looks like the main channels will be the Xiaomi Singapore official store, plus retailers like Red White Mobile and One Phone Singapore.
Good to know where people can find it.
So let's try and summarize this piece, the Xiaomi 16 Ultra. It's really shaping up to be a major player. Key strengths seem to be that incredible display, the absolute top-end processor, that really versatile quad-camera system with those interesting pro features.
Like the Leica input and that filter holder, yeah.
Plus the robust build quality, the choice of premium materials, IP68 rating, and super fast charging. It's a lot.
It really is. And when you put all that together, it translates directly into what should be, a seamless experience. High performance, visually stunning, whether you're just browsing, doing serious work, or pushing it hard with gaming or photography, it feels designed to handle it all without breaking a sweat.
Absolutely. So for you listening, it's worth considering which of these features really jumps out at you. Is it that camera system?
Yeah.
The raw power? The display brightness?
Mm-hmm. What matters most for your needs? And maybe here's a final thought to mull over. Given this whole package, the high-end specs, the competitive pricing, those diverse material choices like glass, eco-leather, titanium, how might the Xiaomi 16 Ultra actually challenge the idea of premium value in the flagship market? Could it force other big players to rethink how they balance top features, luxury feel, and maybe, just maybe, accessibility? Something to consider.